Hey Marie, what's cooking? Is everything good?
Nothing much. What's up, Ava? I've been so tired lately, not sure why, because I've been going to bed at a decent time, so it must be the change of weather or something. So, any news? What's on the gossip list today?
Oh, yes, Marie, of course. We always have news. Big or small. Do you really have to ask that question, Marie? Aren't we called the gossip queens? Therefore, this queen has called to gossip. Ha ha.
Well, that's right. We are the gossip queens, and I know nothing will ever escapes us. So, who are we gossiping about today, Ava?
Well, this time it's about my friend Jasmine. I think I have too many friends besides you guys. I think I'll probably need to rent a few to you and Jen. $235 per day. Just let me know when you're ready to rent, huh?
Ava, what the hell? I have my other friends too, remember? It's not just you, Jen, and Rita, even though I consider you all my real BFF because we're closer than my other friends. You get what I'm really trying to say.
Yeah, I understand, Marie. That's how I feel about you guys too. No other friend can replace any of you. BFF for life. So, as I was saying, my friend Jasmine stayed with one of her aunt that's on her father's side. Her aunt's name is Edna. She stayed with her for a few weeks until her house was finished renovated. And she said it was the most ugliest experience of her 27 plus years on this planet. And she does not consider her Aunt Edna a family member, nor a human being after that debacle.
Okay, so what was so bad about the stay? What did her aunt do that was so horrible that she swore she would never return to her house again?
Her aunt, according to Jasmine, is very stingy, a miser, a penny pincher, a woman who is slow to spend her own money, and a woman who watches everything she lay her eyes on, including her water usage, according to her niece's account.
Okay, well, Ava, with everything so expensive these days, we all should be watching everything too. And especially if one's not working. Does she have a job, your friend, Jasmine?
Yes, she has a job. She works at a hospital as a head nurse. She got transferred to the office located in the same town where her aunt lives. So she was just trying to get a house in that area since it would be much closer to her job. But because it needed time to complete the repairs, she thought it was a good idea to just stay at her aunt's house for the 2 weeks instead of paying all that rent. She even offered to help around the house while she was there.
Well, that sure sounded like a good offer. I'm sure there was lots of things to do around that house. Gardening, cleaning, cooking, getting rid of old things.
Yeah, except that there was a house rule that the aunt laid out. Jasmine was supposed to stay downstairs in the small room that was next to the garage and the laundry room with a half bathroom on the same floor. But her aunt didn't want her to flush the toilet every time she pees because, being that frugal, she was watching her water bill. And according to Jasmine, her water bill never goes over $15.22.
Wow, never goes over 15 bucks. Does she even bother to bathe? Washes her clothes? Cook? You know, the regular everyday things that normal people tend to do that requires the use of water? Various amounts of water to get the job done. What type of life is that? How much water can one uses that would cost only 15 bucks? A gallon jug, maybe? Wow, that's some type of nasty and cheap lifestyle. But each to his own.
And that's not all, Marie. Her aunt would wash dishes in the same water for days or even weeks. She only changes the water when it starts turning black, slimy, or has a moldy smell, she says. It was so bad, she prayed every day for them to finish her house. And she's not usually one who prays, even though prayer is free.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure if I could use any toilet and not having to flush it after every use. I hate to see the color of pee. There's so many different color pee these days. Yellow, brown, red, and even green pea that would make my stomach so upset and vomity.
Yee, I know the feeling. I have a sensitive stomach, so anything that's gross turns it off in seconds. She says Because of that rule not to flush after every use, one day she pooped and went out shopping and forgot to flush. I guess the aunt checks the toilet now and again. And on that particular day, she lifts the toilet seat up and, to her surprise, it was full to the brim with pee, poop, soap, dirt, scum, mold, dead rat. Almost everything you could think of was floating in that toilet. She said her aunt texted her on her cell phone and told her not to come back to her house with her disturbing behavior, and that she would have her things mailed to her when she moved or have them thrown into the garbage, whichever she preferred.
Uh-oh, that's disgusting. That sounded like a big hazardous issue. It sounded like she hadn't flushed that thing for the entire 2 weeks since she was there. Did Jasmine did it on purpose, just to upset her with her mean, cheap self? It sounds like Jasmine is one filthy animal.
Could be. Not sure. She said her aunt left some choice words in the text message that she couldn't find anywhere in the dictionary. She said she didn't see her text message until she got back to her aunt's house, and it would have been exactly 3 days before she would have left for her new place. So she went back to the house and tried to open the door with the keys she got when she moved there. But to her surprise, the aunt changed the lock. Jasmine says she saw her looking at her through the windows, pretending she wasn't home.
Oh no! I'm glad I have nice aunties. I'm sure she doesn't have to worry about Jasmine going back to her house ever again. After all that drama, wow. Just wow. Auntie from hell? Or is it niece from hell?
Maybe both. Auntie from hell and niece from hell. So now Jasmine has her nice 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. So will anyone tell her when to flush or not to flush? That's the flushing question. It's all hers. I didn't know people could be so cheap. I mean, how much water can you get for $15 though? I'm curious to know because, as you said, she has to clean, do laundry and other stuff. She's very frugal. She probably sleeps in the bathtub so she doesn't have to wash her sheets. Fairy tale lifestyle.
Outrageous, Auntie. But what is a single person doing in such big-ass house? Is she gonna have a dozen kids or something to fill up those big bedrooms? I hope she's not going to live in that big house all by herself.
I don't think she will be there alone, if I'm correct. She was seeing a man that works at her job. He's the assistant CEO or something? Not 100% sure. But she's seeing someone who works in her department. I personally would never recommend anyone to date someone they're working with. Bad idea, jealousy, tensions, watching the person constantly. Terrible idea, but hey, what the heck? It's her life, I guess.
Okay, that's good for her, because that's just too much house for a single lady. With so much robbery and break-ins going on, she shouldn't live alone, unless she has the house camera ready. And even that is really not sufficient.
I know what you're saying, but she's smart. She has her little head attached to her body, so I know she got this figured out before she decided to move. I know her. I might have to visit her someday. You know me. I like to be nosy and always curious to know what everyone is up to. Guess I need a life, right?
It sure sounded that way. Yeah, I know you, Miss Nosy. Well, Ava, when you call, I was just finishing up my laundry and cleaning up my bedroom. So I have to run. I have to finish up before my mom gets home. She's having friends over for dinner. So I'll catch up with you soon.
Okay, Marie, I'm going to call my cousin Daniel now. He called earlier. But I didn't feel like switching over. Not sure what he wants, but he better not be asking me about anything stupid. He's always getting into fights, so I'm going to call him now and see what he wants. Well, talk to you later, pal. We'll keep you updated.
Okay, I will. Talk to you later. Hope Daniel is okay. Smart boy. He should go back and finish up college and get that computer engineering job he always dreamed of.
Yeah, smart boy, as you know, but always getting into fights. He'll talk some sense into him. Maybe he'll listen for once. Okay, talk to you, Marie.